Just double checking for alignment. If you see there's a bit of a gap on the top, if that's the case, you've got to push the plaster down, the cornice down it slightly. Or if there's a gap on the bottom of the cornice where the miters are, you might have to just push the cornice a little bit higher. But just adjust it, just so you've got a reasonably nice looking mitre. Putting cornice adhesive behind the miters. And this is all done in one batch of mixed plaster. We call it a gauge. When you mix up a plaster, it's known as a gauge. So this is still on my first gauge. There you go. Now all the excess plaster, look at it, looks pretty messy, doesn't it? Anyway, you've all the miters, broad knife, just clean the excess plaster off. And it's still fairly soft at this stage. The plaster hasn't set yet, but you can see what I'm doing. I'm just cleaning it up very carefully. You can see how it's all taking shape. The cleaner you are, the easier it will be. If you've got messy hands and plaster all over your fingers, you're going to put plaster all over the cornices and it's going to look just too messy. It'll be there forever, or you're going to take a bit longer to clean it up. Let's say in the case that you've never, or you haven't done this before, my suggestion would be just do 2 or 3. Mix up a small amount of cornice adhesive and just hang 2 or 3. That's all you need to do, and that way start cleaning it up like I am if you're not confident, just to get the feel of it. You don't have to do the whole lot like I have. You've got to bear in mind I've got a few years experience, so I know what I'm doing, but by showing you this way I hope it helps. Any little gap that you see, that's a small tool, by the way. What you see there, they're a great little thing. They've got a square end on one end and a nice pointy end on the other, so it's very good for cornice work. That's a very important tool. That's the most utilised tool I use, even to clean my trowels or anything. You'll find many good uses of it. Another great thing is a nice brush, like you see there. I've got a bucket of clean water below me. When you clean the cornice with a damp brush, you just brush along and it cleans up any excess and it smooths out the plaster. There you go, the good old small tool, just to make it look even better. And as you go around, you can see as the plaster even firms, it's easier to cut, and you just go around step by step, come back to it. There's maybe I had it too wet, a little bit of paper actually tore off the cornice. That's okay, don't panic. Get the Stanley knife, sharp Stanley knife, cut out that piece of loose paper, and on your small tool, bit of cornice adhesive, just touch that up. You just let it go for a while, for a couple of minutes. In this case I did it all in one, but anyway, you could just leave it, go and keep moving along. Just if you've got the whole area hung like I have, you just got to keep moving. You just can't stay on one small area, because the plaster in the meantime will go off elsewhere. So you do it by step. Go around, clean it all up, come back, each miter, do any touch-ups, keep moving like I'm doing here, and then you just keep doing it step by step at a time. This is just the final parts. You just probably could leave it by now, but you know, I want to be happy. I've got to get paid for this job, so I want to make sure that the job is perfect and clean. There you go, just a few little bits and pieces. Small tool again is the final thing. I've gone around the rest of the work, but I'm just showing you just this area, otherwise I'm moving the camera constantly. Just a good old brush just to clean it up. Good little small tool. I hope this video isn't too long for you, but you can probably fast forward if you wish, but you'll probably come back to this one a few times just to remind you of what I've been doing. Brush again just to clean it up. You can even use a sponge, but I prefer a brush. I'm just checking the mitre there if the plaster's firmer, so I can shape that mitre. And we're just about there. Again, watch this video more than once. Try a little bit at a time. If you're not sure, when you cut your mitres, just double check yourself. You shouldn't have any trouble whatsoever. It's all light work now. Just the final touches. And don't worry if the plaster did go off or has set beforehand and you still haven't filled any gaps and so on, you can always mix a little bit, you know, a little handful of plaster, and you just go around and do what I do, just touch up and you're just about there. Okay, so I hope this has helped. Thanks for watching the video. Please make a comment, I don't mind. Always constructive comments are great, and good luck with your projects.